Welcome to Las Vegas, a city famed for its dazzling lights and endless entertainment. But not all that glitters is gold. Today, we're taking a closer look at the top 9 areas tourists should steer clear of to ensure a safe and enjoyable trip. From West Las Vegas to Charleston Heights, we're diving into what makes these neighborhoods notorious no-go zones. Stay tuned as we explore the lesser-known side of Sin City and make sure you're prepared for your next Vegas adventure.
Whitney is another area that deserves a wide berth. It boasts a violent crime rate that skyrockets to a staggering 288% above the national average. With stats like these, it's clear as Vegas's neon sign that tourists and newbies should stay clear of this area. Adding a twist to the plot, the vicinity around Boulder Highway, a spot within Whitney, is ironically peppered with extended stay hotels. This setup is like a siren call for those moving to Las Vegas, luring them with the promise of affordable lodging while they hunt for their desert castle. But here's the thing, these budget-friendly places, they're havens for more like stage set for property crime, drama, neighborhood crime rates soaring to 167% above the national spectacle. Choosing to bunk down here practically rolls out the red carpet for trouble, putting your belongings on the VIP list for a vanishing act. Bottom line, steering clear of this area isn't just good advice, it's a must survival tip for those navigating the wilds of Las Vegas. Venture beyond the neon glow of classic Fremont Street into its edgier sibling, Fremont Street East, and you'll find yourself in a part of Vegas that's a bit more rough around the edges. This area, known for its vibrant nightlife and eclectic bars, also carries a cautionary tale. While it beckons with the promise of authentic experiences and unfiltered entertainment, it's wise to tread carefully after dark. The underbelly of Fremont Street East, less polished and more unpredictable, has been marked by a higher incidence of petty crimes and occasional bouts of more serious incidents. Visitors are advised to stay alert, stick together in groups, and keep an evening's adventures in the safer, well-lit areas. In essence, while that allure of Fremont Street East's raw charms are undeniable, a savvy explorer respects its wildcard status in the deck of Vegas attractions. West Las Vegas, just a stone's throw northwest of the Strip, has sadly earned its reputation as the city's problem child, notorious for its unwelcome mix of drug dealings and gang showdowns. That's right. This area is a stark contrast to the neon glow and razzle-dazzle of Las Vegas. The violent crime rate here doesn't just tiptoe past the national average, it leaps over it with a jaw-dropping 713% increase, translating to an alarming 1 in 32 chance of bumping into violent trouble. Even more startling, strolling through West Las Vegas means you're playing the odds at 1 in 7 chance of becoming the unlucky star in any crime drama. Betting on a safe visit to West Las Vegas is a wager best left unplaced. Twin Lakes presents a challenging environment where residents face a 1 in 11 chance of being a victim, making it 330% higher than the national crime average. Adding to the area's challenges, it receives an F rating for amenities, underscoring a significant lack of local conveniences and resources that contribute to the quality of urban life. Twin Lakes therefore emerges as a stark reminder of the vast disparities within the city.
Welcome to Michael Way, a neighborhood that really puts the loss in Las Vegas, as in the last place you'd want to stake your claim. Here, crime rates are a staggering 316% above the national average, making it feel like you're living in a crime drama without the comfort of a TV screen. Unemployment? 17% higher than the rest of the country, so jobs are as scarce as a cool day in the Nevada desert. Health and safety? Sporting a D rating, which presumably stands for Dare to Live Here. And if you're thinking of raising a family, the local schools' test scores are 36% lower than the national average, ensuring the only thing your kids will be proficient in is the art of lowering expectations. Michael Way, where the American dream grows to hit the slots and lose it.
Desert Shores, where the job market's hotter than a Vegas summer, but living there's a bit of a gamble. With a 1 in 14 chance of becoming a crime statistic, it's 211% chance more likely that you'll have an unwanted adventure here than the national average. And amenities rated F, as in find your gym, grocery store, or good times elsewhere. Sure, the unemployment rate sits 19% below the nation's curve, suggesting not everyone is losing in this neighborhood, but if you're moving in, you might want to pack a 4-leaf clover along with your house plan. The Las Vegas Cultural Corridor, despite its trove of educational and historic attractions, comes with a significant caveat regarding safety. With an F rating for safety, this area stands as a stark reminder that not all that glitters in Vegas is gold. The crime rate here is a staggering 135% above the national average, painting a concerning picture for visitors, especially those who like to travel solo. This elevated crime rate underscores the importance of being vigilant and cautious. For solo adventurers drawn to the cultural and educational experiences offered here, this backdrop necessitates a strategic approach to visiting. Opting to explore during peak hours when the attractions are bustling with visitors can provide a layer of safety in numbers. Additionally, staying within the well-lit and busier areas can help mitigate risks. While the cultural corridor is a testament to the rich, multifaceted identity of Las Vegas, the shadow of a high crime rate prompts a cautionary stance. Ensuring your visit is both enriching and safe might mean foregoing the solitude of a solo visit for companionship and security of a group or guided tour, particularly as dusk falls and the area's safety rating becomes a tangible concern. Charleston Heights takes the dubious honor of being one of the poorest neighborhoods nationwide, with a staggering 45.5% of kids living below the breadline and unemployment figures towering 73% above the U.S. average. Navigating through Charleston Heights, the odds aren't in your favor, with a 1 in 13 chance of becoming a crime statistic, as misdemeanors are practically on the daily menu here. Take a grim snapshot from October 3rd and 4th, 2022, where the local crime blotter tallied up to 50 incidents, painting the town in shades of theft, assault, and break-ins. Given this backdrop, Charleston Heights earns a solid spot on the do not visit list, making it a neighborhood to avoid for anyone looking to keep their Vegas experience safe. Rancho Charleston, where the only thing exceeding its charm is the crime rate, presents a unique blend of statistics that could make even a seasoned statistician blink twice. With violent crime rates at 47% above the national average and property crimes taking a 57% lead beyond above the average, it's the kind of place where residents might mix up their morning alarm with a police siren. Not exactly the poster child for peace and quiet, Rancho Charleston offers a robust challenge to those seeking tranquility in their neighborhoods. It's less welcome home and more. Enter at your own risk. But since we moved to Vegas, I kind of have a general rule. If the street starts with a B, it's crap. Then a crap neighborhood, it's a crap street with crap people, crap places, crap everything. Bonanza. Crap!